Many areas started out the day with some light snow, and it looks like another round is on the way for later tonight. We'll talk about how many problems that may cause straight ahead.
Coming up, we'll tell you about a Madison County school bus that slid off the road this morning with more than 20 students on board.
And the snow we saw this weekend is nothing compared to what's barreling toward the northeast. Some parts could see up to 3 feet of snow. We'll show you how people are preparing.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. Our first significant snowfall this winter is in the books, and more could be on the way. Lexington received 5 inches this weekend. You can still see a little leftover snow in this SkyCam shot of Triangle Park and Rupp Arena in downtown. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking another chance for snow on First Alert Defender. And Chris, it could come tonight.
Yeah, it's going to get into parts of the area a little later this evening, Jennifer, and then a round of light snowfall is a possibility into parts of the region later tonight and early on your Tuesday. You mentioned some of that snow from Friday still left over, and a little touch of snow this morning in Lexington. Here's what it looks like behind the station on Winchester Road. That is live First Alert Defender, and you see the snowy scenes that are playing out behind us. Boy, those temperatures today really struggling into the mid and upper 20s. A day that at midnight we were at 40 degrees. It's been downhill since. It feels like it is 20, by the way, in Lexington, courtesy of a strong wind that is gusting up. Live First Alert Defender, clean, calm for now across central and eastern Kentucky, though the next round of some very light snows beginning to break out into western Kentucky, get into parts of Illinois, western sections of Indiana. That stuff is now working its way on toward the south and southeast. You can see it's kind of a strung out system. That means there's no real compact area of low pressure that we are tracking, but the majority of the light snowfall should take a track that is along and south of Interstate 64 as it stands now. So winter weather thoughts as we make our way through the evening. We are tracking that band of light snow moving in tonight from northwest to southeast. So a small accumulation for some, not everyone. And by small, I'm generally talking in some cases an inch or less. Best chance will be across the south and the west. And coming up in just a few minutes, Jennifer, we're going to show you a map on who has the best chance of squeezing out an inch of snow from this stuff tonight. And we'll look at additional snows taking shape in the 7-day forecast, looking a lot like winter here at the end of January.
We'll check back in 15 minutes. Thank you, Chris. And slick roads led to a scary situation this morning in central Kentucky for students on a school bus. A Madison County school bus slid off Highway 1295 and into an embankment. Officials say the bus was less than a mile from Kirksville Elementary School. WKYT's Mike Linden has the latest from the scene. It's our top story at 4.
According to Kentucky State Police Department officers, at around 7:45 this morning, students on a bus bound for Kirksville Elementary School in Madison County slid off the road and into an embankment.
Officers say the driver was fairly new to driving school buses. They say when he felt the traction of the bus tires giving way over a patch of black ice along Highway 1295, he lost control of the bus. According to Madison County School District officials, 23 students were on board the bus when it slid off the road and into an embankment. The bus hit a wire fence on the way down, but managed to stay upright. According to officers, no one on board the bus was hurt in the accident.
We were all very thankful and grateful that the situation resulted in just the bus sliding off the road and not something more catastrophic, because that area of our county, it definitely could have been a different end result.
School district administrators tell me that they normally survey the roads between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning to determine whether or not it's safe for the buses to pick up students. It wasn't until 6 o'clock this morning that black ice had formed on the roads. In Madison County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Madison County emergency management officials tell us no other crashes happened on the roads this morning. While Madison County had school today, more than 20 school districts canceled classes. Scott County schools were on a 1-hour delay. Officials say the biggest problem was black ice in the northern part of the county that formed as drivers were trying to get to work and students to school. The black ice is blamed for 2 crashes on I-75. It's estimated crews put about 100 tons of salt on the roads, costing the Scott County Road Department about $10,000. The Northeast is bracing for what could be a historic winter storm. 58 million people are affected, and some places could see up to 3 feet of snow. Jan Pomrenz has the latest from New York City.
City and state governments didn't wait for the first flakes to fall. They loaded trucks to treat roads.
It's going to start going downhill pretty quickly.
And activated emergency operation centers. States of emergency are in place across the Northeast. There are plans to reduce train and subway service, and drivers will face some travel bans later tonight. The bottom line from officials: take this storm seriously.
The blizzard brings with it very high winds, gusts up to 55 miles per hour, and that's what makes the situation dangerous and difficult. It's the snow combined with the wind.
For better or for worse, we know how to deal with these situations, and I feel completely confident that the folks behind me and all the people that work for them are prepared.
Residents like David Scheinman say they're prepared too. He bought extra fuel for his generator.
After Sandy, we couldn't get one. We had no power for 12 days, so I got a generator right after that. I'm not going through it again.
Airlines canceled more than 2,500 flights, most of them in and out of the major hubs in the Northeast. That's causing a ripple effect, tying up travelers across the country. In New York, I'm Jan Pomerans reporting.
Some of those cancellations are already impacting flights at Lexington's Bluegrass Airport. Flights from Lexington to Philadelphia and New York were canceled this morning. An arriving flight from Philadelphia was also canceled. The airport advises you call your airline and check on your flight status before going to the airport. Tomorrow is the deadline to file to run for state office. Today, another candidate joined the Republican field for Kentucky governor. Businessman and former Louisville Councilmember Hal Heiner filed papers this morning in Frankfort to run with Casey Crosby. Heiner will face Ag Commissioner James Comer and former state Supreme Court Justice Will T. Scott in the Republican primary. Attorney General Jack Conway and Jeff Young are the only Democrats who have filed. Also today, Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes announced she's seeking a second term. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Amber Philpott is in the WKYT newsroom with some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Amber.
Good afternoon to you, Jennifer. A Fayette County judge overruled former lawmaker Steve Nunn's efforts to withdraw his guilty plea in the 2009 murder of Amanda Ross. Nunn claimed his attorney Warren Scoville hadn't adequately explained the consequences of his guilty plea. He believed a civil suit against him would be dropped if he pled guilty. He also claimed Scoville had acted under a conflict of interest because Scoville's firm had at one point been named as a party to that civil lawsuit. The firm was later dropped from the suit. This morning, Fayette County Circuit Judge Pamela Goodwine ruled that both of those arguments were without merit. We'll have more on what's next for Nunn coming up on WKYT News at 6. The FBI says a Kentucky man is one of two people involved in a Missouri kidnapping. A St. Louis TV station says that Robert Caldwell and another man kidnapped a 67-year-old man and forced him to drive around withdrawing cash from ATMs. The victim eventually escaped. His car, however, turned up in Bardstown over the weekend. It was badly damaged in a crash. Police received a tip that Caldwell was in his hometown of Danville over the weekend. They have reason to believe he could now be in Lexington. We have the latest on the investigation on WKYT News at 5 and at 6. And the Franklin County Sheriff's Department is looking for a man they say is targeting women. They say the man uses a brick to smash car windows and steal purses. Police believe the man has hit the YMCA in Frankfort and a Walmart in Harrodsburg. Coming up on WKYT News at 5 and 6, we'll talk to police about their search. That is a look at just some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Amber. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. A man has come forward to say he was responsible for the drone that crashed early today on the grounds of the White House. An official says the man told the Secret Service he was using the drone recreationally and did not mean to fly it over the White House. Secret Service agents are now interviewing other people to try to verify the man's story. The official says investigators do not have any reason to doubt him. A Georgia couple is missing after driving across the state to check out a classic car advertised on Craigslist. Police say the man who last had phone contact with them faces charges. Investigators have obtained warrants for Ronnie Adrian Towns on charges of giving false statements and criminal attempt to commit theft by deception. He has not been accused of harming Bud and June Runyon. The Runyons are from just outside Atlanta. Last Thursday, they drove about 3 hours in Georgia to meet someone who responded to Bud Runyon's ad seeking a 1966 Mustang.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Wall Street starting the week with modest gains and plans to be open tomorrow as New York braces for a blizzard. The Dow added 6 points today to close at 17,679. The Nasdaq picked up 14 and the S&P 5. This year's Super Bowl is already setting records, at least when it comes to the ads. 30-second TV commercials are going for $4.5 million each. That's $500,000 more than last year. Chances are you flipped through the pages of SkyMall while on a flight. Well, the company that owns the in-flight catalog for Delta has filed for bankruptcy. Delta stopped carrying the magazine in the fall, and SkyMall has faced competition from other in-flight distractions, including smartphones and tablets that can now be powered up throughout a flight. Pizza Hut goes gluten-free. Starting today, Pizza Hut will offer gluten-free pizzas. They won't be sold at all stores, but they will be available at about 2,400 locations across the country. The special cheese or cheese and pepperoni pizzas are designed to be entirely gluten-free, but there is a warning for people with celiac disease. Pizza Hut says it cannot guarantee the pizzas will be completely free of gluten because there is a risk of cross-contamination. College students may want to think twice about skipping class. There's a new app called Class 120 that will let parents know if their students actually show up. You have to enter the class schedule and time into a smartphone. Then the app uses geolocation technology to track students. The service costs $18 a month. In just a few weeks, University of Kentucky students will take to the dance floor for this year's Dance Blue.
And before then, though, UK athletic teams are taking part. Deanne Stevens out and about at the Nutter Fieldhouse with a whole lot more. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at the Nutter Fieldhouse where our UK gymnastics team practices. So excited because the girls are here and they're going to be showing off some of their stuff coming up here at 4:50. But first, we're going to talk about this special partnership that they have with UK's Dance Blue. We have Jonathan York with us. Jonathan, what is Dance Blue for those people who've been living under a rock these past couple years?
Oh, goodness. Dance Blue is a fundraising organization here at the University of Kentucky who raises money to support the families affected by pediatric cancer in the state of Kentucky. And we put on a 24-hour, no sitting, no sleeping dance marathon every February.
And it's a whole lot of fun for all of the students as well as the community because you guys get a lot of community support out there. Talk a bit about that and how much money you are raising.
It's been an absolute pleasure to see just how involved the Lexington community is with Dance Blue. We've had community canning nights where we've raised over $10,000 in one day, which is absolutely spectacular. So it's great to see the constant support from the UK community.
Okay, and speaking of the UK community, UK athletics teams are being loud and proud about this Dance Blue this year. Alex is with us, and Alex, you guys have had many different teams that have been participating, but specifically this week we're talking about the UK gymnastics team. What is your partnership here?
Yes, we've had several of our teams host Dance Blue events during their season. So gymnastics is coming up this weekend. They're going to be wearing special tops that'll be auctioned off in the community with the money going to Dance Blue. Ticket proceeds from the meet will go to Dance Blue. We'll have Dance Blue at the meet. They usually do a line dance or some form of their special dance off that they'll do. The girls are really excited. This season they've decided to compete for Kylie, who's the daughter of one of their coach's former gymnasts, who's fighting stage 4 neuroblastoma. She's 19 months old. So the girls have picked this whole season to compete for Kylie, which fits in perfectly, pediatric cancer. So this is big for the girls. It really means a lot to them.
All right, Dance Blue is still a few weeks away, but you can participate too. Come on out and support the UK gymnastics team this weekend, this Friday night at their meet. Coming up at 4:50, we have Shelby and Kayla who are with us, and they're going to be flipping and turning all for Dance Blue. I'm Deanne Stevens out and about. Back to you guys.
It's incredible how much Dance Blue has grown since it started in the UK community and
totally
the community in general.
Not just for UK, but all across. There are the little Dance Blue events that go on. You know, it's very, very neat.
Helping children with cancer,
absolutely.
That's right. Well, it's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Is Verizon putting its customers' privacy at risk? Cybersecurity experts say yes, according to the New York Times. Verizon uses computer codes to tag and follow customers as they search the web on their phones, and that could make them vulnerable to tracking and profiling from other companies and hackers. Drivers in states across the country have been told to take their recalled Takata airbags to get them replaced. But as Julie Watts found out, getting them fixed could take a while.
When Dorothy Paynes first called her local Toyota dealer to ask if they could fix her Takata airbags, the answer wasn't exactly reassuring.
He said, well, why don't you call us back in about 2 months?
In some cases, when the Takata airbag opened, the inflator cracked, sending shrapnel flying through the vehicle. Millions of Americans have now been told they have to have their airbags fixed.
There's so many factors at play here.
George Kennedy of Consumer Reports says most of the affected car companies are doing regional recalls, and some have expanded their recalls nationwide. But when it comes to the fix,
it's not going to happen overnight.
He says there simply aren't enough parts available right now to handle all the recalls, although more inflators, the part responsible for the problem, should soon be in production.
Takata, the original supplier, doesn't have the capacity to do it on their own, so another company has been brought in that is working specifically with Honda and might be going to other brands.
In the meantime, know that most of the defective airbags are on the passenger side of the car.
If you have one of these vehicles that has a front passenger side recall, then definitely have somebody travel in the back seat to avoid that potential risk situation.
Something Dorothy's no longer worried about. Toyota contacted us and offered to replace her airbag immediately. Now, even with production ramping up, it's estimated it could take 2 years to make enough parts to fix all 8 million affected cars. For CBS News, Julie Watts.